Well, I like bananas, so I'll take one.
Number one, Bachelor number one.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the most shocking and dark revelations about individuals who appeared on game shows.
That is me trying to go fast.
Ingram's trickery for victory. Who wants to be a millionaire? Charles Ingram became only the third person to win this British game show's top prize, but it was all for naught. Chris Tarrant, the original host of Who Wants to be a Millionaire, said no one on the production team thought Ingram would turn things around after a rocky start.
I don't know what your strategy and sub-strategy is, but it's working. You've just got £16,000.
But it wasn't just a nice comeback story. Suspicions of cheating rose rather quickly, mainly due to coughing heard from the audience. It turned out the coughs weren't random. They were answer clues provided by Ingram's wife and college lecturer, Tequen Widdock. Not only was the prize not awarded, but all three involved were found guilty in court, ordered to pay fines, and given suspended prison sentences ranging from 12 to 18 months.
Fantastic!
A fraudulent schemer wins big. Press your luck. Michael Larson's record-breaking win on Press Your Luck in 1984 was impressive. Too impressive. CBS executives grew suspicious of cheating and didn't want to give him the winnings.
Stop at 5,000.
Larson had studied the game show patterns closely, effectively beating the system. It was determined that there was no legal issue with what he did. Still, we discovered other damaging facts about this guy. He was a major schemer. For example, he once used a family member's name to register a business so he could fire himself and collect unemployment benefits. He had also been arrested for theft 3 times before his game show appearance. In the 90s, Larson became implicated in a fraudulent multi-level marketing scheme. He fled a law enforcement investigation and eventually died in hiding.
Do you have anything in mind as to what you're going to get your daughter for her belated birthday present?
No. It'll be a surprise.
You think this might be a surprise to her as well?
Fugitive contestant wins money using fake identity. Super password.
Watching Password at home, a viewer in Anchorage, Alaska recognized the scruffy-faced contestant as a fugitive in a credit card fraud case and called the authorities.
During the 80s, Patrick Quinn won $56,000 on the game show Super Password. But his name was not, in fact, Patrick Quinn. That was his former college professor's name. The contestant's real name was Carrie D. Ketchum.
My name's Patrick Quinn. I'm a senior systems analyst for the government, and I myself spent the last 8 years in Europe and the Far East traveling around and everything. Yeah. And I'm just really pleased and happy to be here. I'm having a great time.
A viewer recognized who the man on the TV screen really was and alerted the authorities. Ketchum was a convicted felon and fugitive, wanted for faking his wife's death to collect a $100,000 insurance payout. In fact, he faced multiple charges, including bank and mail fraud. When Ketchum arrived at the show's Hollywood offices to claim his winnings, authorities were waiting. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
One of the biggest winners in the history of the television game show Password was suddenly busted today when he showed up at the Password offices in Hollywood to claim his prize, $58,000.
Former Jeopardy champion goes from fame to infamy. Jeopardy. A math teacher named Winston Wynn became a 2-time Jeopardy champion in 2014. Over 10 years later, his reputation took a major hit, casting a shadow over the fame he gained on television all those years ago. So what did he do? Pretending to be a teenage boy, Wynn used Snapchat to exchange explicit images and videos with minors. Some of these were students who attended the school he worked at. Wynn pleaded guilty to multiple sex crimes and was sentenced to 7 years in prison.
He also tells us that Wynn is due in court next week, where he expects his client will give a statement apologizing to his victims. In downtown Brooklyn, Rob Flax, News 12 Brooklyn.
A then-wanted man appears as a game show contestant, Wheel of Fortune. In 1998, Matthew Fenwick won $4,400 on Wheel of Fortune. Watching that particular episode was a girl who recognized him for a horrible reason. Like, seriously, this is unsettling stuff. Prior to appearing on the show, Fenwick had been on the run after being accused of molestation of that girl and one other girl. 2 days after his appearance on the show, he was found and arrested. And in the summer of 1998, he pleaded guilty. This totally reframed that TV appearance in such a dark, alarming way. The legacy of a game show athlete tarnished, American Ninja Warrior. It's far from an easy feat to become an American Ninja Warrior champ. Drew Dreshel was able to do that. On top of that, he became a very well-known competitor on the show over a multi-year period during the 2010s.
But it cost him time. The clock's still ticking.
Yeah, he can still do it. He's still got a shot to catch sheep.
Exhaustion setting in, but Dreshel won't quit.
However, shortly after the 2020 season wrapped up filming, he was arrested for charges related to sexual misconduct. In 2023, Dreshel pleaded guilty for crimes involving illegal pornography and coercing a minor to travel to engage in sexual activity. The judge labeled him a dangerous predator and sentenced him to 10 years in prison. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
And no one can believe that Drew Dreshel could make a mistake. but he's got the safety pass.
Matt, I don't think that's how he wanted to use his safety pass.
Definitely not.
Wife's life in jeopardy. Jeopardy. A few years after becoming known as a two-time Jeopardy champion, Paul Curry became known as the Jeopardy killer. In 1994, his wife Linda died under mysterious circumstances. It turned out it was nicotine poisoning, but Linda wasn't a smoker. It took years for prosecutors to build an effective case against Paul Curry. Finally, in 2010, 16 years after Linda's death, Paul was arrested.
Dinner prepared, and she didn't really want that, and just wanted to take a bath, go to bed. She's very tired.
In 2014, he was deemed guilty of first-degree murder. He had poisoned his wife all those years ago, apparently intending to collect hundreds of thousands of dollars in insurance money and other financial benefits. Jeopardy is a fun way to earn big bucks, but this is just twisted.
She wouldn't wake up. I couldn't get her awake. Didn't know exactly what to do, but I...
Doomsday contestant, Wheel of Fortune. Looking back now, this is horrifying stuff. Lori Vallow Daybell appeared on Wheel of Fortune in 2004, winning $17,500. She talked a bit about her family on that show.
From Austin, Texas,
That's right.
A hairstylist in Austin, hey?
That's right, the best.
How's the hair in Austin?
It's good.
Good.
Austin's a happening place.
Probably thanks to you.
Years later, Lori made headlines for shocking reasons. In 2023, she was found guilty for murdering her 2 children. Over the years of court proceedings, she was also found guilty of conspiring to kill multiple other people, including her 4th husband, Charles Vallow.
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi neighbor, sorry.
What was striking about the footage that we saw was that there's no remorse, there's no, oh my gosh, my husband's dead.
She and her husband, Chad Daybell, led what some media outlets called a doomsday cult. Lori Vallow received multiple life sentences for these disturbing, heinous acts.
You simply have no remorse for it, even sitting here today.
Suspected serial killer serves pasta and meatballs. Celebrity MasterChef. In 2015, chef Stephen Port appeared on the British show Celebrity MasterChef, donning a blonde wig and serving up pasta with meatballs in East London. Just months after the episode aired, articles started coming out connecting sinister dots to this man. He had been accused of drugging and murdering 4 young men. Port became known as the Grinder Killer. He met men through gay websites, invited them over, and committed horrific acts. In 2016, he was convicted of 4 murders, plus multiple sexual assaults, and was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. To think this individual was on a competitive cooking reality show amidst his crimes is truly unsettling. The pockmarked man. Tout le monde veut prendre sa place. French police had been searching for a man known as the Grele, or the pockmarked man, for more than 3 decades by the time he appeared on a game show. This notorious individual, a former police officer named Francois Verov, was responsible for multiple shocking murders and sexual attacks in the Paris region between 1986 and 1994. For so long, it was an unsolved case and the perpetrator was out there. The year was 2019 when he appeared on that game show. But the dark truth tied to him wouldn't come out until 2021, ending a 35-year manhunt. Verov left a note confessing to his crimes before taking his own life. A Wipeout contestant tragedy. Wipeout. Obstacle courses are fun, but they can come with a host of safety concerns. Wipeout does its best to vet contestants and provide them with sufficient protective gear, but accidents can still happen.
I think he may have crapped his pants.
Oh boy.
Contestant Michael Paredes found this out the hard way, suffering a heart attack after completing the show's obstacle course. He was promptly rushed to a local hospital, but it was too late to save him. TMZ reported on his death shortly after. In spite of the tragedy, the series went on as planned. But it's hard to shake the feeling that contestants are risking their lives for viewers' entertainment.
Oh my God, that was crazy!
Alleged poor conditions. Squid Game: The Challenge. In 2021, Squid Game became Netflix's newest hit show, garnering both mass appeal and critical approval for its dark yet captivating premise. But when the streaming giant announced that they would be producing their own game show based on the series' success, many were skeptical. Squid Game was critiquing the dystopian competition at its center, not endorsing it. Unfortunately, it turned out that the naysayers were right to be uneasy. Although Netflix naturally denied any foul play, contestants complained of unbearably cold sets and long hours. Some even compared the filming to a war zone. These anonymous criticisms of the show's conditions completely recontextualize the show, which has more similarities to its inspiration than many fans are comfortable with. The 1950s quiz show scandals. Have you ever watched a game show and wondered if it may be rigged? In the 1950s, many viewers were stunned to learn that this was the reality for three major quiz shows: 21, The Big Surprise, and Dotto. The scandal began with 21, which was revealed to have scripted the loss of a contestant named Herb Stempel.
Then you win $20,000. Congratulations.
He lost out on an unknown amount of potential winnings, and to add insult to injury, the final nail in his competitive coffin was an incorrect answer about one of his favorite films.
Thank you for being a wonderful contestant. Herb Stempel, ladies and gentlemen, tonight.
On The Big Surprise, a warm-up question that contestant Dale Logue did not know the answer to was deliberately repeated for the show, while Dotto was found to be providing answers to its participants.
Possible.
Parsifal is absolutely right.
Ryan Jenkins is suspected of murder. Megan Wants a Millionaire, I Love Money. Following Rock of Love, contestant Megan Hauserman was offered another chance at love by VH1 in Megan Wants a Millionaire. Among the contestants was so-called smooth operator Ryan Jenkins, who also filmed for the third season of another dating show, I Love Money.
I figure, hey, if there's any time for a Baywatch dive, it's now.
During Megan Wants a Millionaire's initial broadcast, Jenkins' wife was found dead, causing the series to come to an abrupt halt. I Love Money 3 never made it to air. In the days after his wife's murder, Jenkins evaded police, crossing the border into Canada and eventually taking his own life before a trial could be held.
The manhunt for reality show contestant Ryan Jenkins ended yesterday when he was found dead in a Canadian motel.
Had Megan Wants a Millionaire continued, viewers would have seen him place third, proving that people are not always what they seem.
You know, I've put a lot of blame on myself for it for a long time because I knew him as a different person.
Nasubi's challenge, Susunu Denpa Shonen. Translating to Do Not Proceed, Crazy Youth, Susunu Denpa Shonen was a challenge-based game show in Japan, which became notorious for the cruelty of its competitions. In its first year on air, the series began its most controversial challenge to date, Denpa Shonen Teiki Kensho Seikatsu, in which the contestant, Nasubi, was forced to live solely on sweepstakes prizes. His condition was filmed and reported on for 15 agonizing months, all without his explicit consent, as he struggled to win basic necessities, particularly food. What was at the time perceived to be light entertainment was actually the broadcast torture of a human being. The death of Michael Lush, The Late Late Breakfast Show. While The Late Late Breakfast Show wasn't technically a game show, its Give It a Whirl segment featured many hallmarks of the reality subgenre. Viewers of the variety show would call in as a whirly wheel was spun to decide what stunt they would perform on the following week's program. This included everything from car stunts to being fired out of a cannon. It was an incredibly dangerous segment, which had already resulted in a few injuries prior to the involvement of its final contestant, Michael Lush.
It certainly looked remarkably frightening from the pictures I can see.
Lush was set to perform a bungee jumping stunt that also involved a straitjacket and an explosion. No professional stuntman had attempted the feat prior to Lush's first day of training, and a fatal mishap cost him his life.
Because of the tragic accident involving Michael Lush while preparing for tonight's edition of The Late Late Breakfast Show, the BBC has decided to cancel this and all further editions.
The Bliefnick family, Family Feud. When you tune into an episode of Family Feud, you know you can expect some well-intentioned barbs, a few double entendres, and plenty of wide-eyed reactions from Steve Harvey. So while this response from Tim of the Bliefnick family may not seem so out of the ordinary, the truth behind the scenes makes this moment extremely sinister.
What's the biggest mistake you made at your wedding? Honey, I love you, but said I do.
Bliefnick was later convicted of the murder of his wife, Becky, who did not appear in the episode. Allegedly, his wife had requested a restraining order from him a year prior to her death, which was rejected by the legal system for unknown reasons.
And you shot her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 times.
Tim Bliefnick was sentenced to life in prison, though he insists that he did not commit the crime.
Because of that joke, so many people paid attention to his case in this trial.
Edward Edwards conceals the truth, to tell the truth. Edward Edwards had already been dubbed one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives when he appeared on To Tell the Truth. In fact, this history is the entire reason he was cast on the show.
I, Ed Edwards, was once on the FBI's list of the 10 most wanted criminals in America. Now I am a respected citizen in my community.
His unique life experience made him the perfect candidate for the series, which saw contestants attempting to guess which of the three people was that episode's central character. Although Edwards claimed to have been reformed and even wrote a book on his life as a criminal, his reformation was all a charade.
The real Ed Edwards, please stand up.
Between 1977 and 1996, Edwards lived as a serial killer, murdering at least 5 people. Looking back, it's hard to believe people let him achieve the level of fame that he did.
The more trouble you get into, the bigger you are in their eyes.
Bullseye helps catch a criminal. Bullseye. John Cooper's crime spree began when he was just 17. Back then, he was seen publicly intoxicated and was charged with stealing cars and assaulting police officers. He would graduate to murder in 1985 when he killed a man and woman while robbing their farmhouse in Scoveston Park. 4 years later, he would participate in the game show Bullseye, a British series involving darts and trivia.
No one could know that this charming Welshman was a double murderer.
As his violent crime spree continued, investigators realized that a police sketch looked eerily similar to Cooper's appearance on the show and used the likeness as evidence to build a case. Following Cooper's conviction in 2011, ITV would officially vault the episode he appeared on, ensuring that viewers of the lighthearted game show weren't reminded of his grisly crimes.
You've got £220. What are you going to do?
We'd like to gamble.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. The Dating Game Killer, the dating game. Now known as the Dating Game Killer, Rodney Alcala is notable for actually winning the episode of the dating game he appeared on. Luckily, the female contestant who chose him ultimately decided not to go on a date with him because she found him creepy.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
We're sure she's now thankful for following her gut instinct, as Alcala would later be directly linked to 8 murders, with many more considered open cases in which he was a prime suspect.
The detective frantically tried to call the police department and let other detectives know that he was on television.
Watching the show back today is unsettling, particularly when you consider no background check was performed on any of the show's potential bachelors.
Thinking back on it, it was very spooky.
Which of these stories about game show contestants do you find most puzzling? Let us know in the comments.